A very good morning to you Nigerians, and many thanks for joining us on U45 Morning Show. It really feels good to have you join us this morning. I'm Adenike Woye Ajiboye.
I am Osage Solomon Wilfred. Good morning.
A wonderful morning to you all, and I am Shegun Denola Adeyemi. Welcome to U45.
Without much ado, on the U45 Morning Show today, we will quickly go and, of course, review the newspapers. We need to know what is happening. We need to be abreast of events and happenings in Nigeria and even beyond. After which, of course, we have for you the trends and hashtags, and then we will go into the discussion segment. And this time around, we are looking at security tips, of course, during Yiuletide, talking about personal safety and also travel safety. You know, this is that time of the year where a lot of people, if not all the time, at least for once, they want to travel, go home and see their mother, fathers, and also dine and wine with extended families. So these and many more is what to expect on U45 Morning Show. And without much ado, let's quickly see what's going on in the dailies. Shego.
All right. Good morning and welcome once again. All right. So we're starting off with this day newspaper. That's what we'll be kicking off from. And then the main headline says, Tinubu, I am not satisfied with Nigeria's security situation. And then the writer says, vows not to relent until insecurity is over. Another writer says security remains his government's top priority. And then another writer says grips again over Kaduna bombing. As you can see, it seems our president is serious about tackling insurgency and then taking care of insecurity in the country, and I'm pretty sure all hands will be on deck because all the CSOs are also ready to work.
Well, I like the fact that the president had to review the security situation in Nigeria, and also said that he would not rest until we get to the roots of this insecurity. I mean, talking about how to combat it. But I only hope that this is not one of those political statements, because this must be backed with willingness. I mean, the political will for you to ensure that indeed insecurity is, at least if not totally ended, at least let it be reduced to the barest minimum. So we can only hope the president well, and to also urge him to ensure that they put strategy in place to ensuring that they tackle insecurity.
All right. Another headline says plot to impeach Fubara takes new turn as Rivers lawmakers defect to APC. Now the writer says governor summons emergency exco meeting over development. Another one says PDP, LP, others want INEC to declare de facto seats vacant. Another writer says Ijaw National Congress urges Tinubu to call Wike to order. And then another writer says APC chair welcomes defectors to party. So now it's a game of our Lord and Savior has not really defected, hasn't defected, yes, he's not showing any interest that he wants to defect, but the lawmakers are defecting.
Well, you see, one thing is, well, let me say, I'm not shocked seeing this very news, because I see Wike as a politician that for him, it appears forgiveness is a sin. Those days when you were in school, you just know that this is one of the statements made by those cultists. They tell you that forgiveness is a sin, and so as long as you have erred, they believe that you must be dealt with. You must pay for your actions and inactions. And I think the time where Wabara went to prostrate for him, Fubara, beg your pardon, to apologize, it shows that indeed it's just a surface kind of acceptance.
Yeah.
He knows where he's going to. And if you also follow Wike very well as a politician, he knows how to get what he wants. And he's that kind of man that is so determined and would give whatever it takes for him to get there. I mean, what are we talking about? This is the same Wike that is neither in APC nor in PDP. He is in between APC and PDP.
Yeah.
It is only a strong politician that can do that.
Yeah.
And even the PDP, it seems as if they are even afraid to come out to tell him, because if somebody, because for me it's like playing an anti-party thing, because you are here, you are there, you are in PDP and you became a federal capital minister, you know, under PDP. You know, how many people have been able to do that? So you know that Wike is a powerful person, and you see this is tilting towards ensuring that where we started from, where a lot of people are saying that Sean Godfatherism, Wike, you said you're not going to, you know, encourage Godfatherism. This is where we're tilting towards, which is they are trying to impeach the sitting governor, which seems that they are both at loggerheads. But do not be surprised that just like one of the artists saying that, say what, anything can happen.
Anything
so as
can
we go,
happen.
anything can happen. So it's for Fubara to be wary, and he should begin to look forward and know what to expect. This is politics.
It is politics. And then on a more exciting news, Nigeria's Osimhen and Oshoala are Africa's best players in 2023.
We should roll out the drums, honestly. These guys have really done Nigeria proud. I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy. I celebrate them, and I think this is the time for Nigerians to also celebrate them. From findings, I heard that this very award being won by Osimhen was won last by Kanu Nwankwo, and that's about how many years ago? So for him to be coming at this point in time, it shows that indeed these guys are stars. It shows that indeed these ones, they are playing with determination, and they really know what they are doing. So I just like to say congratulations to them. Oshoala too is doing us well as females. I mean, look at our keeper too. I mean, this really calls for celebration for the sports ministry in Nigeria. Congratulations to all of us.
Yeah, congratulations Nigeria. Congratulations to female and male football team. I think the female football team won the best female football team in Africa. I think our female football, they are doing us more proud than what the male counterparts are doing.
I don't want to talk about that.
Thank God you have come to terms with that.
I've never been against it. I mean, this is the 6th award. 6th
For Oshoala.
For Oshoala. I mean, that's massive. Now for Osimhen, a few days ago he won, just last week, he won the best Serie A player, you know, for last season. I'm proud of what Osimhen is doing, and a lot of people are asking him to leave Napoli already, because I mean the stakes are high for him out there. Real Madrid wants him, Liverpool, Chelsea, a lot of top clubs around the world want him. This is good for our
but I
football.
thought even in Napoli they're already idolizing him at the moment.
Yes, they do. But of course, Napoli is not one of the top clubs in the world. So when cake is hot, like he is hot now, it's time to move. You know, that's what a lot of people are calling him out for.
Move when the ovation
is loudest. Exactly. You know, so I'm happy for him.
But don't you feel a club where you feel welcome, you feel at home, and then they treat you right, that's where you can grow?
Yes, you're right, Shegu. But all of these twists and turns started early this year when the TikTok holder, the TikTok account, whatever, the person in charge of their TikTok for Napoli ridiculed Victor Osimhen for missing a penalty, and that was the deal breaker for a lot of Nigerians. Even Victor Osimhen, even though the club came out later to apologize, but people just feel that no, there are big players in the world that have missed penalties. I mean, if you claim Messi, the Ronaldos, you know, they have missed penalties. And if you claim that this guy is a star for you, why ridicule him? You know, so I think at that point, a lot of Nigerians feel that Africans generally feel that Victor Osimhen should leave.
But I think that sometimes when you have high hopes in people, you tend to be highly disappointed when certain things are being done. So I really don't think people should take that to heart.
Well,
it's just like a trainer of just like a trainer. It is only expected if your player or your trainee does not perform optimally for you to come out and charge them or scold them. Not necessarily because you don't like them, but it's just because you do not want such a mistake to occur again.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you, Nike, but
yes.
the challenge with this one is that it happened twice. And then Victor Osimhen has not been the only player who has underperformed.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people tilted towards the racism.
Then that might just be racism, jealousy,
racism.
which is just normal in profession.
If that were to be Lionel Messi, that account officer.
No, the guy was actually fired. He was
instantly fired and prosecuted.
Still retained him.
So, anyway, moving on. Now, federal government may increase 2024 budget if revenue improves next year, says Wale Edun. Well, I just hope that all of this will work in our favor.
Finance Minister.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. We love to read very fantastic, statement like this, but we only hope that they match their words with actions.
Yes. All right, and finally, on this day newspaper, Edo 2024. I'm nobody's candidate. Right man for the job, says Asu Igodalo. I'm nobody's candidate.
You know what? For this kind of person, you say that statement. He's still going to. He's going to swallow that statement. I'm going to apologize. You understand? I used to say that if you've not gotten to the corridor of power, you can just make mouths because you're talking from outside. You don't know what really obtains. He's speaking because he does not know what really obtains. You understand? I mean, look at what Wabara is paying for. You pay dearly. You pay dearly for your actions and inactions. And so don't be surprised that at the end of the day, there's nothing for him in this game.
All right, straight to the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun, the main headline said, Tudumbiri, victims of bombing error will get justice. That's according to the Sultan of Sokoto. You find out on page 4. The writer says, Reps Kakos pledges 450 million naira infrastructure in community. Yesterday, we also read in the papers that the senators gave out their December salary
to those victims.
This is what we like to hear, in Nigeria. Kudos to the senators. I just hope these victims truly get compensation.
But isn't that interesting that the Sultan is now coming out to say that they have to get justice? Because all of these Sultan and the royal fathers, they are all supposed to always come out at every point in time. Maybe if they've been speaking out this much, maybe this insecurity wouldn't have lasted this long.
Absolutely, Nike. We talked about this last week. That suddenly all of the northern leaders are out.
Because there are people.
When it comes to the drone. No. I hope it is not an undertone.
Oh, it has a political undertone. It tells you that it's as if Nigeria is just joking about this one Nigeria, really, because now it tilts towards the fact that you don't have a northerner as the one at the helm of affairs. I mean, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and now that it's a Yoruba and the one bombing to the north. Oh my goodness! All the northern leaders are coming out to condemn, to say justice. They must get justice and all of that. But I think that if truly we operate in one Nigeria, it should neither be either by ethnicity or religion or what have you. What needs to be condemned should be condemned, irrespective of whoever is at the helm of affairs. But when it comes to a northerner being at the helm of affairs, the northern elders, they keep quiet, they're not saying anything. When is the Yoruba that is there, all of them come out and speak. Well, I only hope that we'll forge ahead.
I'm pretty sure that someday power will definitely shift hands, and you will not have to bend the truth a little bit, because I mean, in the north, we all know that northern part of Nigeria is still Nigeria. So why would insurgency take for so long? I mean, and then the emir of Kano, Sokoto, Kaduna, no one is talking about it. Nobody is making efforts. Do you understand? Nobody is making efforts. But now, it's a singular error from the Nigerian army. Everybody is coming out. Do you know the number of innocent civilians, innocent citizens Boko Haram has killed, and nobody came out to talk?
Absolutely. Taking it there from Shegun, you know, there's another story here that says gunmen kill 7. Gunmen kill 7 phone seekers, beheld security man in Anambra nightclub. Another writer says kill another 4 in Plateau State.
I mean, kill another 4 in Plateau. Now that is not central.
Yes, but
So
nobody's going to come out.
Nobody's coming out.
Because it's not Sokoto, it's not Kaduna, it's not Kano. Anyway, away from that, deliver justice with fear of God. Catholic Archbishop task judges. And you find that on page 29. Another story says, why stable power supply is not feasible now, according to TCN. You find that on page 26 of the Daily Sun. And moving on, I love this one. It said 5,000 jobs lost as PZ, JSK, P&G, and others exit Nigeria.
Man, the list continues, you know.
Now my problem is, you did not develop locally manufactured goods, right? You are not producing
Companies,
anything. And these are, what do they call it? Accessories used in the home, everyday needs.
Importing them.
Do you understand? Now, these guys are going. Automatically, we cannot do without them, because it's now part of our lives. They are going, that means you still need to buy the international rate.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They say they will start selling to Nigeria,
International
whatever country they move to.
So, if
but this tells you that something is wrong. This tells
everything
you
is
that
wrong.
the business environment is not friendly.
Nikke, these
It
are
means
multinational
that-
companies.
yes.
We're not talking about the little entrepreneur down the road. No, now you can imagine what they are
I'm
going through.
saying. For them to leave, we don't have stable power, then you're taxing them. It means the government is overtaxing these people. Because maybe there should be some kind of rebate you give to them. There should be a way you encourage them, because again, they are contributors to the labor market.
They have the highest number of,
you know.
Nikke, you're even talking
Closing
about
the gap of
you're talking
unemployment.
about PZ, P&G, GSK, that are international.
They are big
What do you
companies.
say about the ones that are
What about Fitzel?
striving?
Fidelis and Son, Fitzel. There is a Nigerian company.
Before.
You know, I'm saying something now. I said, I just hope very soon we'll not hear that Indomie too is trying to pack their load. Because when you look at all of these products, they appear to be number one
At
in
least
terms of taste and quality.
when you talk of noodles and Dufils, the producer of Indomie, they leave. I mean, we still have
Noodles.
other brands of noodles. So that will not be expensive per se. But there are some drugs that only only GSK produces. So if you need to get that drug, there is no substitute for that. No other pharmaceutical company is producing it. So that means if you want to get it, you have to get the one from GSK, and you have to get it at international rate.
It's quite unfortunate. And lastly, on the Daily Sun, it says CBN suspends charges on large cash deposits. The writer says urges Nigerians to ignore reports on banks failing CAR stress energy. You find that on page 2.
All right, now moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. The front page headline here, the major one reads, Fubara walks tight rope as 27 Rivers Assembly members dump a PDP for APC. That story is not different from the one read earlier by Shegun. So the writer says Rivers governor refused to fund the legislature. They allege PDP asked INEC to declare their seats vacant. SDP APC members joined Fubara's camp. Rivers APC caretaker chairman says defection is good news. Clerk to Tinubu call Wike to order, and we know how powerful Edwin Clark is in Rivers State. So let's hope that they might be able to call the FCT minister Wike to order.
The one I would like to talk about is PDP asks INEC to declare
their seats vacant.
Yes, I mean, if you come into power with the ticket from APC and you want to defect to PDP, I think you should recontest.
And it just shows you that the former governor has a strong hold on all of these lawmakers. And I think I've even heard him say that he bought all their forms
for them.
Yes, he bought all the forms for them and all of that.
27 lawmakers out of 30.
I'm telling you. So Wike is also another Jagaban in Rivers State. So you have no choice. You either reckon with him, identify with his ideals, or anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So atop the Nigerian Tribune, our front page headline reads, Naira redesign, insecurity forced farmers into bankruptcy. This is according to the federal government. Senators rep worry over deaths from hunger, famine.
I mean, I'm just concerned. Like, when farmers go into bankruptcy, how are they to fund their daily activities, right? They need tractors, they need all of this, they need to buy seeds for their plantation. How would they get funds to do all of these things when they are bankrupt? What are they to do?
But again, I think I would advise that these people are thoroughly investigated, because there have been reports that many farmers from the north, all they do is they take loan. After taking the loan, they use it for their bureau de change business, and thereafter go to one of the destroyed by Boko Haram, snap the pictures and any of them, and this is what they push to the banks. Then the banks do not have choice, because they are from the north.
Now,
so they let the money go.
There should be a risk management officer, right? There should be somebody who is in charge of loan. There should be somebody who is ready, who is going to be tracking,
monitor.
I mean, if you go,
but come to think about it, we are talking about a country where there is insecurity. So who is going to go? If it's your brother, would you advise him to go to the north? Where you can't even say maybe a Boko Haram will come from the back and slaughter the person. So how many people do we have to be slaughtered?
There are banks
in terms of...
There are banks in Maiduguri. There are banks in Borno there. And now what they can do?
Banks there, I'm sure it is still northerners that are working there.
So those people, it's easier for them to and then it's not just people in the northern part of Nigeria should grant loan. Right? They're not the only one. You should approve their loans. I mean, we have farmers in the west, in the south. I mean, so why not approve loans for them?
All right. Let's just hope that the banks are able to deduce the means in which they will use to monitor these farmers. And our drone attack, victims will get justice, says Sultan. Revert that. And finally, on the Nigerian Tribune, Nigeria dominates CAF awards. You get that story, of course, the back page of the Nigerian Tribune. And this is all that we will take on newspaper review for this morning. Endeavor to get these dailies, the Nigerian Tribune, the Punch newspaper, Daily Independent, the Nations. I mean, the list is endless. Just try to grab a copy, and I think it goes to just 200 naira. So that you can also get yourself informed. Now we are moving to our discussion segment. Of course, we are looking at security tips during Yiuletide. We are now being joined virtually by a crime scene analyst, a forensic expert, and of course, I'll call him a security expert. You wouldn't be wrong. Join me to welcome Valentine Idiawo. Valentine Diawo, good morning, man. Thanks for joining us on U45 Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Yes. Yes, Valentine. Yes, let me say that it feels good to see your face this morning. Looking good, well relaxed. I'm sure you slept very well. All right, quickly. This is our period, of course, festive period. Every Nigerian is happy at a moment like this, but of course, we do not have to lose our sight of our safety and security. So, first of all, let me get your views about safety and security this period in Nigeria. And do not forget that many people are still being carried away in the local parlance. It's called a one chance.
Thank you very much once again for being on board. One thing I would love to say about security, precisely in Nigeria, is that I keep saying this: security need to be priority first before we can talk about strategies of mitigating it. But when you look at the month from January to December, every month has their own peculiarity, like way modus operandi, how criminals activities happen. And now we're talking about December. That's the festive period. You agree with me that December is one of the most important months out of the 12 months that security agency need to put more emphasis upon. Why? Because a lot of people come back home. A lot of people have a lot of have a long time break. A lot of people take leave. So people gather more on that month called December. So there are a lot of intels that will help the security agency, because there are some criminal activities that they don't want to share via mobile, via internet and all that. So they will prefer to converge, meet and discuss about next year, which is 2024 strategies of how to, cause havoc and other threats to Nigeria and security architecture. But however, for this period, this is the right time. Security agency need to come together, re-strategize what has gone wrong from January to now. What are the things they ought to do? Because December, just like every organization, whereby they have time to strategize for the next year plan, which some will call it roadmap. You understand? So the security agency need to sit down also to have this roadmap for 2024, which is this very month, because this month attract a lot of citizens going from one place to another, or citizens going to their villages, going to their loved ones, having more time away from work now, because it is festive period. As I said earlier, there is a period for break, long break. So a lot of people want to go and convert to their family. And as they are doing that, the criminal minds are also planning, because what the criminals use most times is crowd. So to execute their mission. So they use crowd. And if the security do not have mechanism put in place to safeguard the citizens, this is the right time. We need to do that, because as I said earlier on, December is a target. And if you agree with me, last year you hear where DSS gave a directive that the bandits and Boko Haram are planning to bomb several locations and every other place. They give tips December period. Why? Because these are time people converge more, people gather more, people visit more, or an environment become more crowded more, shopping malls become more crowded, and every market become more crowded. And these are things that attract criminal minds, because they want to do something that will make people panic, and that's their strategy.
Valentine, you agree with me that there can be a better time for us to be more security conscious, given the economic situation in Nigeria. But now we're talking individuals. What do you think individuals should begin to do in terms of going to work and coming back? Because a lot of people have been a victim of these kidnappers' cars. One chance, they're going home, they're going to work, and they land in a kind of a kidnapper's den. What would be the advice you give to them?
Okay, this is a period where this is a period where everyone needs to be security conscious, because security is not for a certain particular people or for a particular group. No, security is for everyone. Why? Because security is defined as the art of you being safe from threats and danger. So that's the definition of security. So you knowing that security is you being safe from threat and danger. So you also need to play a role to save yourself, because life is precious. That's most important. So you need to play a role to save yourself. And how do you save yourself? You see, there are people who casually do things online, like online safety. They just post things, anything they post, everything they post, what they do, they post. Now, this is the time you need to limit what you post. There are very sensitive things that people don't know that matters a lot that you post online. Then other things again, you need to be security conscious of yourself, your surroundings, where you go, how you go there, and you need to also be more connected with your families and friends. Tell them where you're going to, right? Because this period of time is very sensitive. So you need to tell your families, okay, I'm going to this place. Don't be shy, don't be scared, don't be intimidated. Like, okay, if I tell my family I'm going to this place, they'll feel, oh, I'm a outgoing person or I'm a party person. No, it is very important. You tell people where you're heading to. And also, there are things people don't take very, very important. You see, familiarity also. There are times when you follow a route, security wise, don't be so comfortable with a particular route. When you're going to your workplace, when you're going to places, change your route, because there are people who are monitoring you. So these are things you need to put in consideration. Security is not just it's not just individual or a party. No, it's for everyone. So you also need to play a key role to safeguard your own self, because as I said earlier on, life is important. So these are the things I would just say. Be mindful of what you post on air, and also be security conscious by telling your families and friends where you're going to, and also be mindful of your personal belongings. Know what you put on when you're going to a crowded place, when you're going to market. Know how you dress, because these things attract people, because this is a period where everybody want to eat, everybody want to get belong, everybody want to become somebody. This is a period where everybody want to showcase their finance, their money and all that, to tell people that, oh, they've arrived. So they might use you to arrive. So you need to be very, very conscious of what you do. And also, for the issue of kidnapping, you need to also, that's in fact the most important is the online safety, because people get informations based on what you post online. And if you follow trend, the I think Elon Musk says that AI, that's artificial intelligence, will cause more harm if people don't take care in the coming year. Because the way AI is going now, there are pictures the AI will synchronize and make and commit a crime. At the end of it, if you're not careful, the picture of that person who committed a crime will be your face. So there are a lot of things people need to understand about online safety and other things, because people get information from online and environment. So
Valentine, thank you very much for that info. I would also like to ask, because I mean it's a Yiuletide season. Everybody wants to be with their loved ones, their family. They need to go about. I mean, there are street carnivals everywhere. There are concerts everywhere, here and there, and people would like to partake. So the question I want to ask is, how do we move about? Like, when we're going, what do we do? What should we look out for? What should we avoid, so as to be safe?
the first thing is, if Nigeria was this, okay, the most important thing is that we shouldn't have been asking this question if we have tight security or we have security as a priority. That's the first place. Because if you look at security, as I said, it's part of the basic amenities for a citizen. It is the safety for the citizens from the government. So the police are there to safeguard you and protect you. So in the first place, you shouldn't be scared going out. That's even the first thing. As a citizen, you shouldn't be scared going from one place, because it's a right for you to move from one place to another. So this ought to have been a different kind of question, but because of the situation we find ourselves, that is why this question is coming up. But however, it will have been the role of the government to curb this, so that people can move, because this is a festive period. I said there are people who work, they don't have time for their family, and this is a time they only have for their family, and they want to enjoy it in full. And now you are depriving them, which is also deprivation of human rights. Now, when you look at all these things, we need to first of all look at the root cause. It is the security lapses. That's the most important thing. Police ought to have been all places by this period of time, because this is a festive period. So there should be more of alertness. There should be more of information, more of collaborations with community leaders, community head, religion leaders. There should be more collaborations. There should be more of surveillance. CCTV placed in strategic locations. There should be more public awareness. And I keep saying this: what is the function of the National Orientation Agency? This is the time we should hear more of them saying things that will, enlighten the citizens to be more patriotic and nationalism. But the most important thing is the media play more role than the National Orientation Agency, which is not really helping, because we have an agency set aside to enlighten the public on government policy and things that the government want to do to safeguard the citizens, but they are not doing their job. So this period would have been a time where all these things will come in play. And now you're asking me, what are the steps? As I said earlier on, it's a lapse from the security agency. That's one. But we as a whole, we should not put effort, we should not relax and say, okay, they have to do that, and if they don't do that, no. Life is precious. It is you to safeguard yourself by following rules and regulations. One, two, also by knowing that there are some certain things you don't supposed to do this period. You need to minimize it. Yes, it is time for enjoyment, but remember the state we are into now. The security tension is high, so you need to minimize a lot of things. You need to cut some going out. So these are strategies you need to also put in your own plan. So if you before this time, you need to reduce it. If you are extravagant in doing this, you need to reduce it. If not, the security problem we're facing now is really a matter of you and us and everyone. It's not a matter of, okay, it's yours and us. So if you don't play a role, you'll be a victim. So you need to play a role also by ensuring that there are things you don't you need to put in consideration and reduce away from what you were doing before.
All right, Valentine, quickly, looking at the level of insecurity currently in Nigeria, it's quite alarming. There's hardly a day that goes by that we don't hear some type of terrible reports or news. Now, and you had mentioned that apart from the individual to be security conscious, the primary objective or the basic amenity that every nation or every government should provide is security to her citizens. Now, quickly, can you enumerate in your own words, if you want to advise the government, concerning what to do, especially in this Yiuletide season where there's a lot of hustling and bustling, what would you advise the government concerning security in Nigeria?
A very good question. First, I'll first of all say, you see, military intervention should just be the last resort. That's first. They should just remove the military away from internal security. That's the first thing. If they do this, I tell you, Nigeria will, because Nigeria is the pride of Africa. So what we do ring bell to the whole of Africa. And let me tell you something about military. The military is a force that gives the nation the strength, that shows the strength of a nation. So any failure from the military already shows the nation is failing. So if you always allow the military to play a role in the internal affair, you are picturing an image to the nation and to the world of the lapses the military have. And let me now tell you something. When you look at that instance, you are diminishing the functions and the role of the police. Police in all nations are masters. When you talk about security, you must first of all talk about police. Police is so important in a nation more and the military. Because even when foreigners come to a nation and there's a problem, they report to the police, not to the military. If you have any issues, whether external or internal, you report to the police. So if I want to advise the government, they should put more emphasis on enhancing policing first. Because the way the military are going, they are taking the glory away from the community to the police. People don't longer see police as agent of protection, which is not supposed to be. Go to different countries, to the Western world, name them. The last resort is the military, because the way and manner the military are trained, they are trained to kill, not to involve in civil matters. And they are trained to fight external forces, not internal forces. Go and check the rules guiding military. They are trained to fight external forces. So if really I want to advise the government, they should ensure that because the citizen now, as it is, don't trust the police. The trust between the citizen and the police is just declining compared to the trust between the military and the citizens. So it is wrong. So if the police play their role well, or rather the DSS also, I keep saying this, we hear more of the FBI in Nigeria than the DSS of Nigeria. The DSS need to play key roles also, arresting, investigations, intel gatherings. So these are people we need to utilize well in ensuring safety and curbing insecurity. The DSS, the NIA, and also the police, because you need to, as I keep saying this, if you don't know your enemy, you can't win them. So if really we know Boko Haram, 10 years is enough to defeat Boko Haram, because you know who is funding them. And if you know the fund is coming from external force, then you know this is an organized crime. And if you know this is an organized crime, then you involve what we call the NIA, the National Intelligence Agency. You involve, and that's their job. If it is funded within Nigeria, you involve the DSS. So they work with the police. The army should be the last resort, because the army is taking off the glory and the relationship between the community and police away from the police. So that's my own suggestion, my own advice. So they should enhance police more, train them more, educate them more, and make them understand the rules guiding their service, and also human rights, and all that they need to know more, and more emphasis on the police.
Basically, that's
because
just for the police effective when it comes to their service to the people, talking about protection. All right, Valentine, I don't want us to drift away from the topic of discussion. So I would want to hear from you. This is a time a lot of people will be traveling home. Talking about travel safety, what and how would you advise Nigerians who will be traveling from one point to the other? Because, of course, insecurity is with us. And it seems that there's nothing we can do about it. So be that as it may, what travel tips or safety tips will you give to travelers at this moment?
Okay, I'll still repeat. These are questions in the first place we shouldn't have been asking, but because of the situation we find ourselves, because now we are seeing the lapses, and we are asking this question. One of the things I will say as a tip is this: your traveling, is it a necessity? That's the first thing, because you have to consider the situations on ground.
Right on.
So you have to consider the situations on ground, right? Because it is obvious that you're not getting the safety you needed. Why? Ideally, by this time in time, you have to see much of police in different transportation stations stationed there, because there are criminal elements or criminal mind people that will come there also to cause havoc or to embark on a journey. So we need to have gotten police stationed at those places, and also have a lot of traffic management rules, right? But since there are less priority on this. For me, first, as I said, the journey you are about to embark on, is it a necessity? If yes, then go. Two, you have to also look at what you are carrying. You also have to look at the station you are going to move from. If before you move through the roadside, because there are two ways to any destination, is either you go through the park or on the roadside. So if you are usually following through the roadside, which is cheaper, then you need to reconsider yourself again. Are you going through the roadside this time around? The fact that it's cheaper, because I said this time around, a lot of criminal elements or criminal activities will emerge. So are you going through that route, or you will change the route to the park? Other things again, your baggages. What are the content in it, and what are the display content? Because people get attracted to what they see, and that's one thing about criminals. It is what they see they want to take. So how are you displaying all these things? So you need to first of all ask yourself a lot of questions. Is it important? Am I going to show myself? Am I going to display extravagant life and other? If all these are what you are thinking, then sorry to say, one may be. So another thing again is, or which is important, is that just as I said, these are questions we shouldn't have been asking, but now it is now the citizens to play the role of the government. So it's really not easy to say what are the safety, because it has always been outlined that the government should provide this safety for the citizens. Because it's just like you saying, what would you do to safeguard yourself against an armed person when you are armless? So these are things you need to put in consideration. But however, you need to first of all see if this is necessary. But if it is necessary, you need to cut short a lot of things that will display the kind of person you are to the public.
Okay, Valentine, I love the fact that you are telling people that if it's not necessary, why go on that trip? And this is also a reminder that, of course, Jesus is not born in anybody's town here. So you really need to consider and reconsider before putting yourself on the road. However, of course, I was expecting that you would tell us that in terms of personal safety too, because these days you see that a lot of ladies now have what is called this pepper spray, in case you're being attacked, for you to immediate ways of protecting yourself. You just spray the pepper spray on the attacker and all of that. Now, for those who will be going with their cars, what would be your advice to them on what to do? Maybe not to use the exotic cars or something, to use a smaller car. And if they're taking the exotic cars, what should they watch out for? Then two, what would be the advice to, of course, talking about internal security agency, the police? What will be the major advice to be given to police now in ensuring the protection of travelers and Nigerians as a whole?
See, there's difference between self-defense and martial art. And martial art is more like an act where you learn how to safeguard yourself, while the self-defense is the actual action of you now safeguarding yourself. Now, when you talk about that pepper spray, comparing to the road safety or travel safety you're talking about is different. You can't use a pepper spray with someone who is already armed with a rifle. So you can use only a pepper spray to someone who wants to snatch your bag, or a close range, meaning to say either you're in a party or you're walking late at night. Yeah, it's good, right? Also look at the circumstances surrounding you using the pepper spray. In the first place, are you strong enough to resist the attack that you want to use? Because what if there are more than 5 or more than 2 and the other one heard you? So it's really something we'll talk about next time. That's why I bring the issue of self-defense and martial art. You need to first of all learn a tips about martial art before you can apply the self-defense of using pepper spray. Because what if there are multiple attackers and you spray them and you are left vulnerable with the one you couldn't spray? So then for the private owners of cars, one of the safety measure I will just outline. Not really you go to you go with exotic cars with expensive cars. No, those are not just issue, because what if that's the cars you have, right? Secondly, you might decide to use a public transport. That's one. Not necessarily use your private car. You might decide, but if there is no option, now these are things you need to put in place. You need to have spare tires. You need to have everything about the vehicle in place so that you don't get stranded on your journey. You don't get stranded because you don't know where your car will stop you. So sometimes you don't plan danger, but because of the event of how things play, your car will go at the junction of danger. So it's not your fault. So, but you need to be very prepared. Have a spare tire, everything needed, so that you don't stop cars to help you. Because stop the next person. The person because you see we have types of perpetual criminals, opportunity criminals. We have habitual criminals. We have types of criminals who and we have professional criminals. So we have criminals opportunity they strike. We have criminals not by opportunity, they are automatic, they can strike anytime. So if you allow the opportunity criminals to see you, they will strike. So you need to be prepared. You're traveling, you have everything, so you don't go on the road stranded begging cars to stop. Right. So that's my own little tips for them, because if we have more time I will go deeper on that, but that's the basic. That's what I'm giving, just the basic one. If it's necessary, you use your private car, then have all gadgets that your car need, you understand, to and also vision of every fuel stations, so that you will have a picture of okay where you could stop to fuel tank again and all that. So you need to have overview of your terrains, of the route you are taking, so that if something happens, you know the nearest police. And obviously, in this Nigeria we find ourselves, you find lesser hospitals on the roadside and lesser police stations on the roadside, which is very funny. But you need to be prepared before traveling if you must use your car. And if you're using a private, a commercial, you also need to be prepared and know the place you're going to take the vehicle from to your place. Then for the police, that's a very good question you ask, because I keep saying this, that police cannot function without the community, and the community cannot effectively function without the police. And that is why when we talk about security, we don't talk about military, because the military are not close to the citizens. They are not close to the community. No. So using them is the last option resort. So now the police, as you said, the police need to gain back their trust in the citizens. They need to regain back their trust. And how they regain back? They need to be more close to the community. Their strategies, the Western world, organize programs, and they be volunteers of that community. Programs, just be a volunteer. When people see policemen clearing, just for example, clearing drainage, it's funny, but when people see how close the police are to them, that the police are servant of them, and the police are there to protect them, you see how people will cooperate with the police. But when police keep operating on authority, it doesn't serve, you don't get the intel you want, and you don't get the effectiveness of the police that you needed. So the police need to come up with a program that will make them become servants in the community, and that will gain that trust.
Valentine, please, talking about the police, I mean, it is to help them to help us. If we help them, we can help us. So how can we extend an helping hand to them in order for them to be able to achieve the security goals for us
You understand? If we help them, in turn, we are helping ourselves. So how can we collaborate with them during this Yiuletide season?
To amaze you, it is not us now to help them, it is them to us. Because as it is now, the citizens, to be honest, as an expert, if you want to be very truthful, it is them now to help us. Because the outline is that the citizens cannot function without the police, and the police cannot function without the citizens. But now there's a breach of trust between the citizens and the police. So it is high time now, not we now helping them, or rather the citizens helping the police, but the police now to prove that yes, they are exercising their duty without fear nor favor, and they are there to protect the citizens as they sworn an oath. So prove now to the citizen, because as it is now, the citizens are already blank with the word police. You hear people say, I prefer to do to execute my anger than to call a police when there's a theft case. So that's why you see more of this jungle justice. So it is for the police now to do more to attract the citizens than the citizens now to attract, because there's a breach already.
All right, Valentine, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on the U45 morning show. And I must say that you have really done well this morning. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
For our viewers, we have been speaking with our security expert, and we are, of course, looking at security tips during Yiuletide. Do you have heard what Valentine has said? It is very crucial for you to note that it is not important for you to travel, gentlemen, then you better just stay at home. And like I said earlier, Jesus is not born in any of us village. I mean, there can be other times you can travel, but I understand that it's that time of the year where you choose to pay mama and papa visits in the village and all of that. But then if you need to go, then you need to safeguard yourself. You know, something came to my head. I just look at it that Nigerians are risk takers. We're actually risk takers when it comes to traveling. Because this is where we still talk about open defecation. You're going on a trip, there is no toilet. You can't move from one bus stop to the other and say that you are getting toilet. A lot of people still use the bushes when you are going, and that's why a lot of people prefer to go to use the flights. I mean, to go on by air. Thank you. To go by air. And the reason of far-fetched, you know that if nature comes calling, you just easily go into there and, you know, ease yourself. But you don't have all of these in some of these buses, except for the luxurious buses. But given the situation on ground, I'm sure you know at this season, definitely travel what's it called? The airfare. No, I don't even mean airfare. I'm talking about transportation fare now is going to increase, especially given the fact that, you know, air fare is already gone times 3 or times 4. So a lot of people will use the road, and it means that even these criminals will always be on the road. Need to be extraordinarily careful and be security conscious. And I also want to talk to those that are the showmen and showwomen. Those that tell you they are into showbiz, and then you want to go and show. I just hope you don't show to your grave as they're showing on the road or showing to people. You want to impress people, or things that are unnecessary or uncalled for, unhealthy competition that we engage in that is not worth it. At the end of the day, you might compete favorably and you get yourself at the graveyard. I pray this does not happen. So it is time for us to shun a bit of the packaging. And you see, the funniest part of this is many of them are not even rich. In fact, I want to shock you that most rich people, when they are traveling, some men will just put on just one short liquor, and
that's the best. That's how I travel.
You know,
it's always good to travel light.
Yes, and it's part of being security conscious. You know, you are trying to protect yourself so you are not too loud and you're not too attractive, just like Valentine advised. Gentlemen, what do you think of all that has been said?
No, I think it's perfect. When you're traveling, travel light. I mean, to be comfortable. As a lady, you can just wear boo-boo. Just
boo or down, and then you're free.
Exactly.
You're free to move. Or you wear a short and one shirt and sneakers, so that if anything happens, you can move.
You can even run.
You're
You can
smart.
run.
You're smart. And for the guys, joggers, track, shorts, and a palm slippers, a slide, or
No, me, I wouldn't even
sneakers.
advise a palm slippers, because in the case of where you need to run for your life,
You drop slippers
you
and you
know,
run.
Drop that.
You drop slippers and you
you
run.
drop your slippers and
Yes,
run,
and you
but anything can happen.
At
You
that
use
point,
your
you
bare
don't-
feet.
at that
At
point,
that point,
you are
you don't
smarter,
care.
you are swifter when you are running barefoot.
And another thing we also have to look at is your health. When traveling, ensure that you have what's it called, this head warmer, you know, because of the breeze, you know. Then for the ladies, have your veil to cover your chest, so that you don't go and party in the village. At the end of the day, you're coming back, you're under the weather, and you're calling your boss, I'm sorry, I can't make it to work. Sorry, the job isn't that you know, available right here in Nigeria, and there are lots of CVs waiting on the bosses and table, so you can be replaced. And that's the reason why you need to protect yourself and ensure that the time you're given at your place of work, you work towards it, and you know, you resume as expected. Well,
Absolutely.
this is all that I have to say.
Quickly, I'll just chip this in for the Igbo brothers and sisters that like to travel. You don't need to travel. I know, I understand the need for everybody to come together. This is the period in the East where there are a lot of family engagements, weddings, you know, so many things are moved to this time, because you know that everybody will be coming, those abroad.
To traveling.
It is not safe, especially what the stories we're hearing from, especially Anambra State. A lot of kidnappings, killings, gunmen here and there. You don't have to travel. You can always send stuff to mama and papa. Send it through Korea. Send them cash if you need to. You don't have to go there. Number one, the fares are so expensive, whether you are going by air or by road. Secondly, it is not safe. You know, so your safety is paramount. Yesterday, I was speaking with a friend who lost his wife. Sorry, I was speaking with a friend whose elder brother lost his wife, and while they were planning for the wife's burial, he also died. So, and daddy and mommy are dead now, and their 3 kids are fatherless and motherless.
That's
you know,
so
so
sad.
this period, one has to be really careful. If you don't have to travel, then you don't need to. Look for an alternative. Daddy, mommy, I'm sorry, I will not be able to come this period. Things are not really as they used to be. I'll send you, you know, what you'll be needing for Christmas. And that will be fine. You know, I'm not comfortable when I see a lot of people traveling over the end of the year. It just puts a lot of pressure, you know, on people. And there's a lot of unhealthy competition.
In the traffic.
By the time you go there, you'll be seeing, look at Ebuka. The last time he was here, he didn't have a car. Now he came with a car. Not meaning that Ebuka borrowed that car.
You know, a lot of
People just put a lot of pressure.
People are talking about
The flamboyance. They just go borrow clothes just to go and pose in the village to catch one young
meanwhile,
girl.
they're drinking Gary in Lagos or even selling chips in traffic.
You know, so I mean, you don't have to put all of that pressure on yourself this year. Just take it cool on yourself. Whatever you can afford, send to your
Don't do
parents back
beyond
at home,
yourself.
and then take care of yourselves back here in Lagos.
All right, viewers, this is all we will take on the discussion segment. A clarion call for you to be extraordinary, careful, and do not do beyond yourself. Do not live beyond your means. Remember that January is just around the corner, where you have school fees to pay, all expenses are there staring at you in the eye. Only God knows how much chicken is going to be sold down. Only God knows how much ram will go for. Do not kill yourself because you can't get wine. What is most important is that your life, hail, hearty, and of course, continue to hope. Be optimistic that tomorrow will be better. Well, right about now, we will take a short break, after which our sporting Joel Wakego will join us here for us to celebrate Osimhen, Shola, and all of our football players that have done us great. So, join us again.
Yiuletide, a thorn in the flesh.
We need to remove him, otherwise we are going to be in trouble. You must kill him today.
In the second half. Revolution! Moses. The long lineal line. It's lights out and away we go. Bottas gets away well. He's alongside Lewis Hamilton and he's making a good progress. Definitely a look here. They play the sprinters up. Sebastian Vettel ducking all the way through. Will they retire from... Moses. Nigeria looking much more promising in the second half. Revolution!
Well, so glad to have you back. You're still watching U45 Morning Show. Yes, Sporting Joel Nwakego is standing by. But of course, before we take Sporting Joel Nwakego, do not be in a haste. Let's take a good look at our trends and hashtags. So, Shego, what's going on in the entertainment world?
All right. So let's go a little bit.
I hope nobody's bullying someone this time around.
No, not at all, not at all.
Okay.
So this one, let's look a bit into the business world. Now it says, not really business, but top trending Google searches by Nigerians in 2023. The people they searched the most. Now, at number one, now people. So there are different categories. There's people, there's mobile device, there's athletes, and then Nigerian news. So now, for people, rank number one is Moyo Lawal. You guys remember Moyo Lawal? That nude video came out, and so she's sitting comfortably at number one. And number two is Peter Obi, of course. The election saga, he will be there. Number three, Oladips. Remember the guy that faked it? Okay, let me not say faked his death. That said it died and then he rose again the following day, which was quick. And then the number fourth is Hilda Bassi,
our cook.
Our cookathon.
Guinness,
dethroned.
Our hot cook.
Our
Chef.
cooker. Then the number fifth is Modric, and then the sixth one is Mr. Ibu. Remember, Mr. Ibu is hospital saga,
yes.
family wahala. People searched him.
Oh, Shegun, is that not the same Modric, the Chelsea winger? I think he is. Oh, I see.
And then number seven, Samuel Ekpa. Number eight, Sam Larry.
Correct.
Now,
Of course, you understand.
but what I did not really
You mean
understand
Mohbad is not part?
of the
No.
people.
In terms of people, Mohbad is not there. But
Mohbad
if
is
you look
not there.
at
But if you check Nigerian
news,
Mohbad is there
top
now.
notch.
So let's go to okay. So at number 9, Anita Brown. Number 10, Esther Raphael. Now let's go to Nigerian news. Nigerian news number 1, Mohbad. Because everybody wants to know what's
Yes,
happening
real
to
time.
who is Mohbad. And it's streaming.
Honestly, not until when he died.
A lot of people
I never knew.
did not know.
I know the song because whenever you go to the markets, you hear them singing.
Yeah.
What's that song? You know, something like that. I never knew that was the person. In fact, I was thinking it was Naira Marley that sang the song. Not until he's dead that I realized that, oh, there's one Mohbad. And they now made me to realize he even sang Emi Tibera on point. Unfortunately, the opposite is what we are saying. I'm so sad.
So sad. And then at number 2 is Nigeria national elections. 2023 election.
Especially with the blah 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 blah, you know the blah blah, the saga, and all of that put a lot of smiles.
And then Hilda Bassi again, Nigerian news. Hilda Bassi,
the hot chef.
Yeah, she really trended. I remember she really trended that period. A lot of people traveled down to Lagos to come.
Just come and watch and eat her food.
Yes.
And you guys know what it is when we were talking about Calabar ladies.
Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
it's not just about cooking.
With all the right features. What are you saying?
My brother. Oh,
what are you saying?
They are more than capable. You know, when you talk about capability, I mean, you need to call out the Calabar girls. You see, capability, Calabar girls. Oh my goodness.
Number four.
All right,
still
on.
Mr. Ibu. And then at number 5 is Simon Ekpa. Number 6 is ministerial list.
Yes, I remember that list was.
Of course, all the politicians, everybody is on the lookout to see.
It trended.
Their names there. Is my person's name there? Who's there? Who's not there? You know.
Then number 7, Seun Kuti. Remember
of
when
course, the police saga, him and the police having. So it's expected, and even when he was supposed to appear before the police say the guy came out to say that he has made himself available to the police.
Yeah. So, and then at number 8, fuel subsidy.
The one that shattered the hope of Nigerians.
Your guy
the Oga at the top came and said, "Oh, he Nigerians, so wake up." Is that song wake up, soji? Because all ye that your brains are dormant, you better wake up to the reality.
You have to wake up.
That your so-called subsidy will be removed, and this is how the government
instantly
is going to start.
And then at number 9 is the tribunal judgment. The tribunal judgment
of just a tribunal judgment
of our presidential and then at number 10 is Yemi Cardoso, our CBN.
Oh yeah, the CBN governor. In fact, you see, I don't envy the CBN governor. Do you know why? Because with Emefiele's performance, that's really now opened up that very position. So a lot of people want to know, who are you giving us again? Another Emefiele? No, we can't take it anymore. We cannot take it no more. Just like Super sang. So I really don't envy him at this time. As the CBN governor, he really needs to roll his sleeve and be really ready to work. And to the admiration of many Nigerians, because as it is, a lot of people already detest that position, because a lot of people died during the Naira policy.
It was even summoned
redesign
by the Senate.
Yes, it was.
Yes, but I think has it even appeared? I'm just trying to remember.
It's
not so certain.
All right, so now moving on to Puff Daddy, P Diddy, or Diddy, or like you said, you should call him now Love.
Love.
So that's his name. Now, hip hop mogul Diddy has been dropped by 18 brands and labels as sexual abuse allegations continue to mount.
Now, for me, Shegun, I mean, the cliche is becoming predictable already. It's the same trend that we're seeing.
Exactly. You don't want to do again?
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Once you say you are not doing again, you are not. It's the same thing. Sexual allegation, brands will be backing off. I mean, it's too predictable. They should look for
other means.
Yeah.
But this is the quickest way to fall a man. This is the quickest way to fall a man. The only person they couldn't fall like this was Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson was the only mega superstar the world had. Michael Jackson, if Michael Jackson walks into any gathering, you must have the good bump.
And so what did you do to him? They took him out?
They took him out.
That was when they couldn't.
They were afraid of how he's fame.
Yes, they
still use allegations of child molestation
against him.
All of this still came. So and if it could happen to Michael Jackson, the greatest of all, the greatest of the greatest, I mean,
who else can't be a victim? Well, I think it's also a clarion call to the men to zip up, please. Zip up. Manage yourself.
It's not okay.
Nick, this is not the issue of zip up. No, I need to comment. This is not
tell
the
me
issue
what I don't know.
of zip up. We are trying to say when they want to bring a man down, one of the fastest way to bring a man down when you have attacked his finances is to go sexual with him. And
But
in the advanced nations,
are they proofs or not?
We don't know. These guys, they are the lawmakers. They can cook up a story to bring you down. We are saying that it is becoming too predictable. You want to bring a man down, you say he has molested girls. All these years, there were no stories of child molestation or rape. Suddenly, you started having issues with your record label or with your cabal or your court. The man has sexual issues. There's no man. God did not create a man to be attracted to a man. It is usually to a woman. So when they want to bring a man down, they will just say this man has had sexual issues with women. There's no man in the world, Nike, that has never been attracted to another woman.
Of course, I'm not saying that there's no man that has never been attracted.
Let me chip in.
But
Let me chip in this.
All right.
Not even for Pop Daddy. Now, this one for Jamie Foxx, because Jamie Foxx is going through the same thing.
Allegation.
Now, Jamie Foxx is on. One lady came. He said, he asked me to come. I went to him, we talked, then we went to the restroom. I did not know what came over me. It was when my friend came and he saw that
you must really be in the picture to
zip down. That was when I realized.
All of these stories don't make sense.
Are you kidding me?
Because for many years, Benjamin Mendy, the Manchester City star, he was accused
same as Donald Trump
of raping girls. They came out, there were evidences. He lost contracts, his club refused to pay him, his name was dragged to the mud. But guess what? He won the case because he had good lawyers. There was nothing as that. It was just some group of feminists who decided to attack rich footballers and they made him a prime target. And unfortunately, the advanced countries favor, their system favors this kind of thing. They protect women a lot and then children.
Johnny Depp? Pirates of the Caribbean. Johnny Depp, after that movie, now he couldn't do other jobs because the wife said.
Well, I understand you guys to an extent too, but again, there's an iota of truth in some of these allegations. That's the truth, and that's why I'm saying that for the men, you also need to discipline yourself, okay? Because there can't be smoke without fire. Do you understand? So yes, I know that it's a way to bring them down, but they too need to understand the terrain they operate in, that this is what befell those before them, so they should avoid it too. It's not compulsory. You have to give every girl you don't have to go to them in private. Have your how are pastors doing it? Do you know how many pastors that have been lured?
Do you know what saved Benjamin Mendy? CCTV cameras.
So let everybody all depend. If you are a star, get CCTV camera.
Johnny Depp, it was camera that saved him because the lady recorded everything and then gave it to a journalist to publish. Then the journalist watching the video like, why would you harm yourself?
Why would you? Yes.
Why would you harm yourself? Why do you want to put this blame on this guy? So instead of cutting off that part, because she asked him to edit the video, but instead of editing that part, the guy published everything. That was
all right, gentlemen. I wish we can continue with this discussion. I can see the way you guys are speaking with so much emotion because it has to do with men, not women. I'm sorry, your time is up. Your time is up. Viewers, right now we'll take a short break because Sporting Joel Wakego is standing by, and we cannot afford not to know what is happening in the world of sports. So join us again. Well, so glad to have you back. Still, you first five morning show. This is the time where we want to know what's going on in the world of sports. Of course, I'm sure it is a jubilation time, our celebration galore for all lovers of sports in Nigeria. Of course, with what our players have done for us. Sporting Joe Wakego, yeah, I can see you celebrating.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm dancing. I'm so happy. I'm excited. In fact, I don't know what to say. I'm just. The ecstasy is just too much.
You know,
because the last time I checked, Rashidi Yekini won it in 93, Amonike won it in 94, you had Kanu Wanko, you won it in 96 and 97, and Victor Baba in 95 or something.
Okay.
Now it's the turn of Victor Osimhen. He just made the whole world be, look, Nigerians can do it, and we can we have what it takes to do it. Because our football has gone from nothing to something. Imagine our players playing top flights in clubs in Europe. Victor Boniface doing it in Germany. Osimhen, after 33 years, give Napoli something to cheer for.
Wow.
And Chairman Kano does a 7 penalty, keeping for a club in Paris FC out there in France. A lot of quality players. We have one of the best young players at Biodi. Fine, she didn't pick the award, but she did so well for herself. And you had Chairman Kano does a fantastic goalkeeper, saving the penalty and all that.
Man.
I've always believed Osimhen has what it takes, because when the under 17 took place in I think in Dubai, and he was the highest scorer, and he had to set a record of 13 goals in under 17.
He was top scorer. He won the golden ball.
Exactly, and he just made sure it was a big benchmark for Nigerians.
Absolutely.
And right now we clinched another award. Aziza, what's her name right now? Oshuala, 6-time African best.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. I don't think anybody will ever get that close. She's simply
never
fantastic.
say never.
Yeah,
never say never.
Anyway, you're right. Yeah. And Nigerian Falcons, the best team, the best meeting in Africa. You can't imagine. It's
thumbs up to
fantastic.
the ladies.
Simply fantastic. They had the
Thumbs
best outing
up
in
to
the
the
World
ladies.
Cup, getting to the quarterfinals. And Aizat Oshoala, the iconic goal she scored and she took off her jersey. It was simply fantastic for Nigerians.
But I think that you'll be coming to the studio with champagne, because we got a pump
probably,
champagne.
I'm going to speak to Osimhen later today.
We need to pump champagne.
Exactly. For me, this is quite remarkable, because Nigeria will have the best in Africa. It's not just I wonder
even
why
in education.
Exactly. And for now, Abiodun did pick the young player of the year, but she had a good out in the World Cup. But she had a red card against Canada, and according to what she said, her heart stopped beating when she got that red card. She was just 20 years old, Deborah Abiodun, and she has a lot to give for female football. She's a pivotal role in that team.
I'm happy with the Falcons, because every time we look at our football and we want to cry, there's a reason to to smile, and it's not far-fetched. The Super Falcons have been consistent, in Africa, and looking at the likes of Azizat, and looking at the likes of this Atletico Madrid player, Ajibade. These ladies have been consistent, and despite the terrible news that we find in our dailies, I mean, this is something to cherish.
Wow. I think they've given us a very beautiful Christmas gift.
Beautiful.
This is a beautiful Christmas gift to the federal government of Nigeria, and I only hope that they will celebrate this ones, because when it comes to your big brother Africa, you know the amount of money that they keep throwing on them. For these footballers, you should know that this feat that they've achieved, a lot of young players are also looking forward to that. And so you need to encourage this one, so that the interest will be more. Or what do you think,
the good news is that both of them started their football career
in Nigeria. So
and it's good to know that the African female team of the year, you have two Nigerians, that's Oshuala and Ohale, making the African female team of the year. And the sweetest thing also again is, in the next female World Cup, you're gonna have 32 teams instead of 24. So you're gonna have higher participation from other countries, to grace the beautiful occasion. Because a lot of people believe the female football is fast catching up with the men in terms of the play.
And you see what I've been saying about the advocacy for their money, doing it better. So I just think the time is ripe for their remuneration to be increased. And also, you have to also know, this a country where people squeeze water out of stone. And so it is also an encouragement for you to believe in yourself, that you can actually you can move mountains. That's why I love that song sang by Magic Fashek, late Magic Fashek. I mean, if you believe, you can move mountains.
Yeah, right. Now the support, we keep having the issue of corruption, unpaid salary bonuses to players and all that. I wonder how we're going to stop the football in Nigeria. And this one is being, one person just
government, they don't see what other nations of the world see. Nigerians are very talented, and we have the numbers. So if you invest,
and we have the energy.
If you invest in Nigerians, and push them out, they will dominate.
What are you talking about?
I don't feel happy when I see a lot of...
forgotten to what I said. I said this is a state where we squeeze water out of stone. And at the end of the day, our players still got to this feat. I mean, this is...
I don't feel happy when I see Nigerians, we're donning the jerseys of other countries. And for, like for example, you see a Nigerian bearing, what's her name right now, Kane, they representing Poland and all that. So for me, I just feel this is a big turnaround for Nigeria. You know, what we have achieved so far in this CAF award is going to like
thank God
vibes.
Thank God.
Yep.
Thank God, thank God that Nigerian footballers have done us very proud, and we're proud of them. And of course, this is the much that time can permit us to take a new 45 morning show. Many thanks for watching. Remember to join us tomorrow for another beautiful edition. I'm Adenikeowoye Ajiboye and urging you to believe in yourself, just as these players have done us proud.
I am Osage Solomon Wilfred. Don't forget to create your own happiness.
And I'm Joel Wankego. Keep locked on Super Screen Television.
And I'd like to say many thanks to the production team headed by Sam Eze. Many thanks to Akin Fagboro. Many thanks to Ahmed Diba. You guys are wonderful. Let's do it again tomorrow. And from all of us, our viewers, do stay safe. And it's bye for now.